Good health to all from Rexall. From Hollywood, it's the Jimmy Durante Show.
A-dink-a-dink, a-dink-a-doo, a-dink-a-dee.
Yes, 10,000 Rexall drugstores who carry the complete line of top-quality Rexall drug products bring you the Jimmy Durante Show with Peggy Lee, Roy Bargy and his orchestra, the Crew Chiefs Quartet, yours truly, Howard Petrie, and Victor Moore. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Rexall's prescription for a pleasant evening. The one and only Jimmy Durante. In person.
You've got to start off each day with a song. Now even when things go wrong, you feel better, you even look better. And now for my second number I'll sing. Pardon me, boy, is that the Chattanooga choo-choo? Is that the Chattanooga choo-choo? I don't mind your taking over the railroads, Mr. Truman, but you should have taken driving lessons. I think Harry was heading for the roundhouse. There's one place the Republicans can't corner him.
Yeah. Well, Snobs, the railroad situation isn't the only thing in the news. I read in the papers that you were made an honorary police officer. How come?
It was inadvertible, Howard. Inadvertible. Last Sunday, I was guest of honor at the Los Angeles Police Show, and when I walked in, the chief of police rushed over, pinned the badge on me, pointed at my nose, and said, "Anybody with a blackjack like that has got to be on the force."
Oh, gosh, Jimmy, what a thrill being an honorary police officer.
What'd you say?
I say, what a thrill it must be being an honorary police officer.
Sure, they cut the line out on you. They didn't cut it out over here. All right, repeat the line again.
What a thrill being an honorary police officer, Jim.
Howard, you're laboring under a misapprehension.
Oh, yes.
Making a political speech is fraught with insignificant, inconsequentialities. Those words look hard, but any man with average intelligence can say them.
Well, Jim, what do you mean it's fraught with insignificant inconsequentialities?
See, he didn't make it. But getting back to the continuity, Howard, when I stepped on the stage, or as we say in our set, the podium, I was in a dilemma. I didn't know whether to campaign as a Republican or a Democrat, but the problem was solved for me. When the applause died down, I bent over to take a bow, and what happens? I'm running on a split ticket. It's not so good for a candidate when he can see through your campaign promises.
Well, Jim, just how do you intend to swing the election your way?
Simple, Howard. I'll promise my constituents that if I'm elected, I'll give every man, woman, and child in the country $50 a week for life.
Oh, but, Jimmy, a promise like that is impossible to fulfill.
So what? Hoover promised us 2 chickens in every pot, and I didn't even get the pot. You know, Brady was using it himself to boil the starch for his collars.
Well, Jim, I suppose you know your campaign is going to face its first big test in the California primaries. Have you entered?
Well, Howard, there's an interesting incident connected with that episode. Yesterday, I rushed down to the post office to mail my entry for the primaries, and just my luck, I get in line in back of a little old lady. And what happened, you're supposed to say?
No, what time do you think it was, huh?
Well, I only got 3 minutes before the post office. There'll be a new master of ceremonies tomorrow night. I'm only kidding, Howard. I'm only kidding. I only got 3 minutes before the post office closed when the little old lady stepped up to the stamp clerk and said, "I want 2 3s, 3 2s, 5 10s, 10 5s, 6 8s, 8 6s, an AM mail, a special delivery, and a money order insured and registered." The clerk says, "You want 3 5s, 5 6s, 8 2s, 2 10s, an air special, a mail delivery, and a registered money insured order?" The little old lady said, "You're not paying attention. I said I want 2 3s, 3 2s, 5 10s, 10 5s, 6 8s, 8 6s, an air mail, a special delivery, and a money order insured and registered. Taking a hitch in his tonsils and getting a firm grip on his moist sponge. The clerk says, I'm paying attention. You want 3 8s, 5 2s, 6 6s, 9 10s, an insured delivery, and a registered airplane. At that point, the little old lady left in a huff. Then I stepped up to the window, and the clerk says, what do you want? I said, you might think this strange, but I, too, want 2 3s, 3 2s, 5 10s, 10 5, 6 8, 8 6s, an air mail, a special delivery, and a money order insured and registered. And with that, he slammed the little window right down in my face.
He slammed the window right in your face?
Yes, and if the mailman in my district will return my nose, I'll be happy to pay the excess postage.
Well, Jimmy, how did you finally get your application blank mailed?
Well, luckily at the next window, there was a very pretty girl, and when she sold me the stamps, I was so happy I kissed her. Recovering from her exuberance, she says, I've been working here for 6 years and nobody ever kissed me before. How do you like that? Playing post office all these years, and she's been leaving out the best part.
Oh, Jimmy. You certainly have a way with the ladies. Tell me, Schnoz, what is the dazzling manner you have with the ladies? Tell me, how do you do it, Schnoz?
Well, I don't like to reveal trade secrets, but this is how it works. I just say it with music. That's my technique. I just say it with sweet melodies, for that's the language I speak. I could have went further, but there ain't enough notes. And that ain't all. The way I play piano makes the girls rejoice. And that ain't all. Besides, I got a melodious voice. And it gets results. Last night I went around to where my girlfriend lives, stood underneath the window and began to sing. Chitty-bee, 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 chitty-bee. Ya, ya, ya. Suddenly her father opened the door and yelled to her dog, go get him, Rover, it's a Nelly cat. You see, I just say it with music. It's fashionable and it's chic. Why, there's no need for you to view me with alarm. It's very plain to see the answer to my charm. I just say it with music. That's my technique. I just say it with music. That's my technique. Hello. Who? Greer Garson? Sooner or later they all get around to Durante. What's that? You were listening to the program, you like my piano playing? Well, how about meeting me tonight? You can't? Oh, please. Oh, come on. You got it. You will? The Macomber at 8? I'll be there at 7, waiting. Goodbye. There's only one way to handle women. Play hard to get. Some guys buy furs and rings for girls their dough is freely spent. I get the same result, and yet it doesn't cost a cent. I just say it with music. That's my technique. Yes, that's my technique.
If you want to be sure that the product is pure when you ask for a drug preparation, buy the Rexall line at the Rexall sign of Rexall identification.
Did you know that more than 2,000 different drug products carry the name Rexall? That's a big family indeed, and a highly respected one, too. For in millions of American homes, the familiar name Rexall has come to mean the utmost in quality, purity, and reliability. So for any and for all of your drug needs, always buy Rexall. Have confidence in what that name means. Quality, purity, and reliability in drug products. Get them at Rexall drugstores throughout the nation, where 25% of America buys its drug needs.
If you want to be sure that the product is pure when you ask for a drug preparation, buy the Rexall line at the Rexall sign of Rexall identification.
Good health to all from Rexall. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Rexall Show is proud to present the screen's outstanding barrel-chested, two-fisted, red-blooded outdoor He-Man. What did you say your name was?
The girls call me Nature Boy.
Dig some more. No wonder they call you Nature Boy, Victor. You've got what it really takes.
Yeah, I know, but nobody will take what I've got.
Victor, do I detect a note of sadness in your voice?
Yes, Howard, you do. Last Sunday was Mother's Day, and I can't help feeling sad for the poor lobsters all over the country.
You feel sad for the lobsters?
Yeah, just think, a lobster lays millions of eggs every year. She never gets a card on Mother's Day.
Well, now, that's a very tender thought, Victor. But what kind of a card could you send to a lobster?
Well, I've already got one worked out. Listen. Happy Mother's Day, oh lobster mine, with your pale green face and bony spine. Other mothers get greetings on those happy May days. All you got to look forward to is mayonnaise. You know, Howard, sometimes I
Stop the
just
presses.
don't...
It's the gallows, Victor. It's a catastrophe.
Jimmy, what happened?
I just stepped into a studio across the hall where they're conducting a quiz show. That's fine, right? The quizmaster was giving away a washing machine, a Remington typewriter, a new automobile, a Gruen watch, a refrigerator, and an airplane. But I didn't win a thing, because the first question they asked me was what kind of an animal goes meow.
But, Jimmy, the answer's so simple. It's a cat.
I know, but the sneak asked me how to spell it. Everybody else, he gives hints. All he told me was that it begins with a C-A. But, Victor, forgive me for letting my emotions run amok. Did I just interrupt something?
Well, you know, last Sunday was Mother's Day, and I was just looking at my mother's picture in the old family album.
How neuralgic.
Yeah. This one was taken the day she went to the hospital. She was pretty sick.
I'm sorry to hear that, Victor. What did she have?
Me. And boy, was my brother disappointed. He was expecting a bicycle.
I see. I see. How lucky for him he got one built for two. Would you believe it, Victor, when I was born I only weighed 7 ounces?
Oh, wait a minute, Jimmy. Nobody was ever born that only weighed 7 ounces.
I know. If my nose hadn't weighed 8 pounds, I never would have lived. They had to hire Clifton Webb just to sit with my schnoz. But, Victor, I noticed in all these baby pictures of you, you're frowning.
Yeah, I know. They used to fondle me and tickle me, but I didn't smile until I was 3 years old.
Why not?
I didn't want my mother to find out I had no teeth.
I'll touch it. I ought to be a baby again and sit on a woman's lap without having to buy her a mink coat.
But you know, Jimmy, looking at this album has got me thinking about your political career. You know, you should have a wife. The people like to vote for a family man. Now, there's Dewey, Stassen, and look at Governor Warren. He has 6 children.
Warren has 6 children? Say, that gives me an idea. Let's see. There's 20 weeks to election. If I could meet the girl of my dreams and get married tomorrow, then maybe we could. Oh, it's no use. You just can't beat an old established firm. But speaking of matrimony, here comes a little girl I'd go on the bride and groom program with any day. It's that record-breaking record maker, Peggy Lee.
In person. Hiya, Vicky boy. And Jimmy, I surely do want to thank you for the nice things you've said about my record.
Well deserved, Peggy. And when I get elected, I'll appoint you to any position you want.
Oh, well, do you think I'd make a good Secretary of the Interior?
Yeah, and your exterior ain't bad either.
Thank you, Victor. Spoken like a gentleman, you little doll.
Well, Peggy, Victor thinks that since I'm a political candidate, I should have a wife to take into the White House.
I think it's a wonderful idea. What's wrong with getting married?
Being joined in cannibal bliss is all right, but it's too dangerous. These days, before a woman goes to bed, she uses an electric curler, an electric vibrator, an electric reducer, and crawls in under an electric blanket.
Well, what's so dangerous about that?
How can a guy kiss his wife goodnight when any minute he might get electrocuted?
Well, Jimmy, I think a question of this importance should be put up to the voters. Why don't you and I start out on another one of our surveys?
Okay, Victor, I'll do it for you. While we plan our internery, why don't you sing something pretty in the interim, Peggy?
I'd love to, Jimmy. I'm going to sing a song with a simple and tender message called Nature Boy. There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They say he wandered very far over land and sea. A little shy and sad of eye, so very wise was he. And then one day, one magic day, he passed my way. And while we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return.
Here's a 60-second story from the Rexall Laboratory.
One of the instruments used daily in the Rexall Control Laboratory is the moisture analyzer. And as its name implies, this instrument can analyze or measure moisture to 1,000th of 1%. And why is it so important to measure such tiny quantities of moisture? Well, take cough tablets, for instance. Too much moisture, and they stick together. And certain other drug products, such as effervescent salts, must be very dry. Otherwise, they lose their power to bubble and foam when dropped in a glass of water. And that's why they are tested for moisture content before they go to your Rexall store. Now, this is only one example of the care Rexall takes with all its products. But it's one more reason why you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
So for any and for all of your household drug needs, always buy Rexall at Rexall drugstores everywhere.
If you want to be sure that the product is pure when you ask for a drug preparation, buy the Rexall line at the Rexall sign of Rexall identification.
Good health to all from Rexall.
You know, Victor, maybe that was a pretty good idea you had about men in politics being married. I read in the papers last week that even Governor Folsom of Alabama took himself a wife. Victor? Yeah, get on the other mic, Vic. That's fine. Now, get over here. He's all over the joint, folks. Wait a minute, just let me give you that line. I read in the papers last week that even Governor Folsom of Alabama took himself a wife.
Oh, gosh, Jimmy, after kissing every girl he met all these years, why did Governor Folsom decide to get married?
That's life, Victor. A guy can only eat restaurant food so long, then he wants a little home cooking. But I want to find out if the country feels that a man in a White House should have a wife. Are you ready to start our tour, Peggy?
James, I'll follow you to the ends of the earth.
For you out-of-towners listening in, that's 2 miles the other side of San Badoo. Any state in the 48 is great.
The 48 is great, and any state is a reason we should celebrate.
We ought to celebrate, and Jimmy, we'll see if a wife ought to be included in your repertoire.
To be a family man might fit my plan.
With a family, you might go far.
We've a magic carpet to take this trip.
We pull a string and away we rip.
Gosh, Jimmy, this magic carpet is awful dusty. Why don't you knock some of the dirt out of it?
I can't, Peggy. It's a Stassin rug.
A Stassin rug?
Yeah, so far, Taft's the only one who's been able to beat it. I got a million of them, a million of them. Any state in the 48 is great.
There's one place we must go if we're going to see about married life.
That's where we're doing.
We're here.
It's Niagara Falls,
Where the honeymoon shines on do not disturb signs.
on the borderline of the USA.
It's the first stop when you start to honor and obey.
Niagara Falls.
Go on down and see up Niagara Falls for you, Jimmy.
Ah, Victor, what better place to take a survey on marriage than Niagara Falls? Folks, Victor's all mixed up here. His script went to the floor. Go ahead. At top of page 16, Victor.
Let's start at this cottage here.
The full of brush man from the Red Skelton picture of the same name.
Oh, man!
I had something to say, but you just inhaled my next line. But allow me to introduce myself, madam. My name is Jimmy Durante.
Oh, how do you do?
And standing here beside
Oh,
me is...
my, this is the first time I've seen live bait so far inland.
Wait a minute, I'm not live bait. I haven't had a nibble in years.
But look, madam, I'm running for public office and I'm conducting a survey. Do you think it would help me to get elected if I was married?
Oh, definitely, Mr. Durante. And you know something? I might marry you myself if you caught me in a weak moment.
Well, when do you have these weak moments?
All week. You know, the more I think of it, the more I think that marriage is the proper step for you to take, especially since Truman remodeled the White House.
What's Truman's remodeling the White House got to do with it?
Just think, you'll be the first president to have a lady in the balcony.
Give that lady a box of Snickers and let's go, Mr. Durante.
Any state in the 48 is great.
Now for a look at a different kind of family life.
Where are we going?
Look down, Victor.
Say how do you do and how are you to Newport? Say how have you been, etc. and such.
Make with a bow, and now you are in Newport.
And little Rhode Island has you in her clutch.
It's a very ritzy joint. Victor, Peggy, don't point.
At Newport.
Go on down, boys, and see what's new in Newport.
Newport, the playground of the fashionable set. But, Jimmy, what are we doing here?
I came to question this here guard, Victor. He's the darling of the debutantes. He ought to know whether I should enter matrimonial marriage. Tell me, sir, after swimming miles and miles in the ocean, spending all day pulling beautiful girls out of the surf and carrying them in on your rugged shoulders, how do you feel?
I'm pooped.
Now I know why they just have God written on his bathing suit. There's very little life left in him.
Gosh, I wish I could swim like you. Tell me, what kind of a stroke do you use? The Australian crawl?
No, the Pomona push.
Ah, what a life, pulling beautiful girls out of the surf all day.
Oh, there's more to it than that. After I save them, I've got to take them out at night. Monday, it's a beautiful blonde. Tuesday, a redhead. Wednesday, a brunette. Thursday, a blonde again. I'm in a rut.
Is there room in it for me?
Control yourself, Victor. Your radiator's boiling over.
Well, look, Mr. Lifeguard, we're conducting a survey. Do you think Mr. Durante would have a better chance of being elected if he were married?
I think it's a wonderful idea. Why, if you were married, it would definitely eliminate Henry Wallace from the race.
It would eliminate Henry Wallace? How do you figure that out?
With you and your wife spending your honeymoon in the White House, who needs a third party?
Hit it! Any state in the 48 is great.
This is the only way to travel.
Let's go somewhere a little different.
I know the place.
Oklahoma, we can't ignore.
Population 1,584.
The paper comes out weekly, and how the people run.
To get all the news of the week rolled into one.
Oklahoma has oil.
And it's also got.
Bueno ground.
There's Oklahoma, boys. Go on down and see if you can strike a gusher.
Say, Oklahoma's a good place to conduct a marriage survey. There's 10 men to every woman.
And here's one of them now, and what a woman.
Relax, boys. It's hot breath Houlihan.
Would you mind standing closer? I want to steam some clams. But what are you doing in this part of the country, Hot Brett?
Celebrating. They wrote a Broadway play about me.
They wrote a play about you. What's the title, Oklahoma?
No. A streetcar named Desire.
Never mind the transfer, conductor. I'm riding to the end of the line.
Say, you're kind of cute. You savage beast.
It gets around. It gets around.
But we're digressing from the subject. Tell me, Miss Houlihan, do you think I'd have a better chance of getting married if I had a wife?
Sure. And you'd make a pretty good husband. You're gentle and kind.
Now, wait a minute. Now,
Now, wait a minute. I wouldn't want to make a bad husband. I wouldn't make a bad husband myself. I can cook.
Oh, yeah, I can sew.
Well, I can keep house.
Well, I know how to take care of babies.
Congratulations. I hope you two will be very happy together.
Take me home with you. Any state in the 48 is great.
Niagara Falls.
Upward.
You can travel north, south, east, or west.
You'll never see Durante settle down to rest.
It's great.
Wonderful.
Marvelous.
Any state in the 48 is great. Good health to all from Rexall. We hope you're feeling fine. So always call for Rexall when you see the Rexall sign.
Remember, 25% of America buys its drug needs in Rexall drugstores. Rexall is at large and respected family of more than 2,000 different drug products. You can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall. Available in Rexall drugstores everywhere.
Touche, Howard, and I'd like to add, I do my shopping at a Rexall store, buying Rexall drugs, and furthermore, hombre, algo, he prefers them too. We buy Rexall. That's all. How about you?
Well, Rexall for tonight, folks. Victor Moore, Peggy Lee, Roy Bargy, the crew chief, yours truly, Howard Petrie,
And Jimmy Durante, in person, who says, good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
Good health.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.